Well, I said I would do a little video of my guitars. So I've picked this one out at random to start with. Just do a very short little video on it. And this one um, is one of my favourite guitars. Um, and it's an Epiphone 335, which kind of looks very much original. In fact, it is original, but to me it feels very much more than that, because I guess because of its life and where it's been and what's happened to it and so on. So this guitar has its own story. Absolutely love this guitar, I really do. I say it's an Epiphone 335 and it's 20 years old from us today. So it's from 2003 and it was built in Korea, South Korea, obviously. But I bought this second hand, a long time ago. And what happened was I already had one of these in the house, and I had one that was the same colour, very similar. But the one I had, I'd changed the pickups out and I'd put in Gibson pickups. And I liked it. It was a nice guitar. And I seen this one. This one came up for sale on, I think it was on Facebook Marketplace or something, or Gumtree or something anyway. I think it was Marketplace. And I was in the house one day and I swear down I didn't have a penny to my name. And this came up for sale when I was in the house. And the guy only wanted £80 for it, including an Epiphone case. And £80, So I borrowed the £80 and I got in touch with the guy and agreed to go and meet him through the Tyne Tunnel in North Shields. And I'm not kidding you, I must have been going 100 mile an hour most of the journey to get there in time. When I got there, I couldn't find him and he'd moved on somewhere. He'd gone down to the quayside. So I hot-footed it down to the quayside at North Shields and waited for him. And then I seen him in this van and he pulled up and went in a coffee and I went fleeing in after him. And he came out and I gave him the £80 and he pulled the case out of the van and it was in a black case at the time. And the strings were, the guitar was fine. There was no fretwear on the guitar whatsoever. The strings were proper rusty and you could see the guitar had virtually never been played and it had been lying around for ages, So I got the guitar and over the moon I got myself a bargain. And I remember at the time thinking, you know what, I'm going to say have me pint. I'm going to have a little drink, celebrate. So I intended to call into the Magnesia Bank, which is a pub I used to gig at a lot. It's just around the corner. And the road was blocked. There was police everywhere. And they wouldn't let me past. And there was some guy with a gun had been shooting at people from an upstairs window. So I couldn't get to this bar. So I went to another little pub around there. Oh God, I can't remember the name, but I used to do gigs there as well. And I called in there and I had a pint. And then I took the guitar home and started to work on it. So the guitar itself, I'll just pull out the case here. So as usual, I give the guitar a good old cleaning, top to bottom, and apologise for the light in here, it's terrible by the way. I took the pickup covers off, I always do. I don't like pickup covers, just a personal preference. Done the intonation, the action, everything was okay. And once I'd done it all and cleaned the frets and all the rest of it, and then decided I didn't know what to do with it, so I decided to sell it and make a few quid on it. So I put it up for sale for £180 and I sold it straight away to a guy in Manchester. So he paid me for the guitar and I sent it off. I put it in his case, packed it as best I could in a box and sent it off with the carrier. And I went out for a drink that night and come home, there's a message from the guy saying the guitar had arrived, but the neck was smashed. And I was pretty devastated about that because more than anything, I just didn't want to appear like it was my fault, and just felt bad for the guy, you know. So he sent me some pictures, and sure enough, the neck was smashed across here. The headstock was all smashed off, hanging off. So I was devastated, but I said to the guy, I says, look, I've got another one at home. I've got a second one with Gibson pickups in. How about I'll drive down tomorrow and meet you halfway, and I can give you the one with the Gibson pickups and take that one, you know. So I arranged to do that. So I drove down the next day, met the guy on the M62 services, Birch services, and give him the other guitar, and he gave me this one back with a smashed headstock. And I took it home, and I was glad the guy was happy. He was aware. I'd kind of made £100 on the guitar, even though I swapped it over, and then I put a claim in to the insurance company, and they paid me another £100 from the insurance. So that's kind of £200 I made on it, really. So that was good financially. But I was left with this guitar, and I took it to a friend of mine who's a repairer. Say a friend of mine, it's a guy, and I feel really bad because I lost touch with him. But he had a little place, and he used to restore guitars, and he fixed the headstock for me. Now, I know you can see that, but you've got to bear in mind the headstock was clean off, and I just wanted a job doing on that. I wasn't bothered about the colour matching and everything else and hiding the whole thing, because it wasn't the intention to hide the repair. It was just so the guitar was functional. So he did that, and it feels great. Doesn't feel bad at all. And that's the serial number, by the way. It's got Grover machine heads there. And anyway, so, but prior to getting this fixed and prior to selling it, I couldn't really get away with the guitar, you know. The other one just felt so much better. When I got this back from the repairer, he'd redone the intonation and reset the action and everything, give me it back, and then I picked it up and started playing it, and all of a sudden the guitar was transformed. It was like a total new guitar to play, and I started gigging it, and it became one of probably my favourite guitar with twin coil pickups. I used a Squire a lot, a few different Squires, but this one for a humbucking guitar was fabulous, and I've gigged this one ever since for quite a long time now. And as I said, if I was going on tour hypothetically tomorrow, and I had to take one guitar, it would probably be this one, because it's probably the most versatile guitar I've got. It's beautiful for sustain, obviously, with it being semi-acoustic, a lovely warm tone, and everything's not, I mean, these are the original pots in their original switch, original pickups, which some people could turn the nose up at, but tell you what, anybody who was to have a bad word against this, I would say they know what they're talking about, because it sounds fantastic. And I guess it's a bit like you could give Paul Kossoff a cheap guitar and he'd still sound like Paul Kossoff. So this one always sounds like me. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so this is my first one, and because the guy charged me I think he charged me £60 to repair the headstock. I'd already made a couple £100 on it. So basically this guitar is, it doesn't owe me anything. I owe it money, but it's had a life, and it's been gigged the hell out of now, and now it just plays beautiful. It really does. So yeah, so that's my first one of this little series, and it's an Epiphone 335.